having a cleaning business, you understand what maintenance of product looks like. We have to wash like vacuums weekly just because if you want your clean house, I'm not bringing my dirty vacuum to your house, right? My dirty rags or my dirty sponges, right? And Scrub Daddy, with their technology that they have for their sponges, the way that they don't pick up any smell, that's life-changing.
I will never buy any other sponge than that because they get like a normal sponge gets so smelly after just like a couple days.
So bad. And then I swear by their scrub paste. If you ever need a good way to scrub your oven, scrub paste and a scraper. I got that from Vanessa.
Yes, me too.
Just like let it sit there and then just scrape it off.
All right, we're back. Maria, thank you so much for coming in today. You have so many names and I'm not going to say them all because I will definitely destroy them. You're the owner of Tidy Up, you and your husband. So again, thank you for coming in. Love to hear about your backstory. How did you get here to Midland and how did you start your company?
Sure, thanks. Well, my name is Maria Gabriella. People call me Maria at work or Gabby for my personal life, but either one is fine. I'm originally from South America, Venezuela, and I came to Midland 2019 through oil and gas. I work for an oil and gas company here in town. And that's what brought me here, Midland, just seeking people to work in the oil and gas industry. Never thought I would own a cleaning company at all. 2021, I met my husband, which is a clean freak. And I consider myself a clean freak too, but never would have thought that I would marry in the same freakness, I guess.
Yeah. OCD person?
Yes. So then 2021 rolls around and we just thought that there was an opportunity here to have a cleaning business. We really were seeking to just have that load lifted off our shoulders, but couldn't find somebody that got to the quality that we are seeking just because we're that OCD. And then also that met kind of like the customer service side of it too. So we're like, maybe there's definitely a market to do that here. So that's how we got here to Tidy Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it start as like, this is a quote unquote side hustle that maybe will turn into the main source and we sort of exit out of oil and gas?
Funny, not at all. And we never thought we would reach to, the volume of cleanings that we're doing right now. It started because we're from Latin America and I had an aunt coming from Venezuela, and job market here is just, you have to have certain skills, certain English level, all these things. And we really thought like, what could be something that we could help so she doesn't have to go into this like Shark Tank of job opportunities and that we can guide her through her new like American experience. So we're like, okay, maybe now we see there's a need for like a cleaning company. Maybe we can do that. So we started maybe with 2 clients every 2 weeks. We would go to their house and there were many of my friends that were empathetic and like, okay, yeah, we'll jump in this with you. But like, we never thought that we would grow to the volume. Again, we both still work full time in oil and gas. So my husband is a mechanical engineer and I'm an electrical engineer, and it's challenging at times managing your real job and your not so real job that turned into your main job.
How many employees do you guys have at Tidy Up?
So currently we have 6.
Oh, wow.
A crew of 6. 2 of them are supervisors. Those are full time, and then we just have rotating people that say that we have a cleaning that might take some more people that we didn't account for. So we have floaters, we would like to call them. But yeah, we've grown from my aunt, and sometimes we would do the cleanings when there was like a deep cleaning. You can't just do it one person. But yeah, it's been exponentially growing. We didn't really think that it was going to be all this much.
Is this your first business that you've owned?
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't really think that there was a need for us to own anything, and then needless to say that I never thought it would be a cleaning business if I was to have a business at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a learning curve for both of us, just trying to, just the monster it is to own a business, right?
Yeah. What does go into starting and owning a cleaning business?
Well, at first, I think the networking of it all, just knowing what kind of clients you want your niche to be, that's important. mean, there's people that do hoarder cleaning. That's not what we do. There's
Yeah.
people that specialize in commercial cleaning that they won't take it into residential. So I think first understanding what kind of cleanings you want to do. Um, Also having a team that's reliable enough for you to do those kind of cleanings. Um, we understood late in the game, and I think recently, just because of the volume of the importance of having like a system that manages all your scheduling.
Hmm.
Before we were amateurs and we were managing everything out of like our Apple Calendar, and then we would share our Apple Calendar amongst us. And then that the weekends were really crazy because we would have to send all this calendar invites and to our employees, and it was a lot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
one day I said, Junior, I am done. We need someone to manage something to help us. And then I joined a bunch of groups on Facebook, just like cleaning owners Facebook groups. And somebody mentioned this platform called House Call Pros.
Okay.
And it's used not only for cleaning businesses, but just managing
Service
assets,
based.
right?
Yeah.
People like that are electricians use it, plumbers use it. So we were able to get into that business, and it has been life changing to the
Nice.
fact that now we have a way for you to book online, for you
Yeah.
to like not only request your quote online, but like pay online, store your credit card that we would never thought
That
about. So that
automates
was,
everything.
yeah, we launched that this year.
Nice.
So I think first understanding that owning a business is so much than just the idea, I'm just going to own a business,
Mhm.
especially if you want to scale it up and have the quality that we intended. I think one of the challenging things here in Midland, and I always tell this story, I wasn't looking for a gardener, and
Mhm.
I needed a gardener, and the gardener, right? And I went through maybe 6 different gardeners. They would all bail,
Yeah.
right? It would got to the point that I'm like, okay, gardener's coming today. Money's out on this under the map. We're gonna get it all clean. They never showed, and then they would ghost, right?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like they're in
Wait, did they collect the money and then just
they would
bail?
never show up. So
Okay.
no,
Well, that's
I
good at
never
least.
had anybody that took the money and didn't do the service. But just having a company or like a service that's reliable enough for
Yeah.
them to show up at the time that they say they will show up. For us Latin Americans, time is a continuum.
Mhm.
Time is relative. Time does not exist for most of Latin American people, myself included at times. And then understanding that when you come to the States, it's a punctuality. It's
Yeah.
like key, right? People, you will lose business over that.
Sure.
And then being able to transmit that as a business owner to be like, you have to be on time. Because as a client, I can't be waiting for you 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I have places to go, right?
Mhm.
So like having a company that takes pride on not only quality, but like the customer service part.
Mhm.
I think that was something that we're proud of right now. And then I think we're lacking on the service that we tried before on
Yeah.
the same like.
Just so we're clear, what types of services do you offer? Again.
So we started as residential, so that's our heavy focus. It was our heavy focus. We're trying to get more into commercial cleaning. We have we do some retail what's it called? Yeah, just retail stores cleaning, but currently trying to dabble in more into the commercial side of it. But oh, and then we also offer, now that we're in around the facility times, like after party events, like say that you have a huge party. I just need my kitchen clean. I just need my garage that I held my party on. So we specialize also in like certain areas.
Yeah.
So you can also
Nice.
do
What
that.
about crime scene cleanup?
So never done any of that. The closest we got to is that a gentleman. Yeah, no, this is not crime scene cleaning at all, but almost like borderline hoarder.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That's a crime in itself.
right?
Against humanity. I mean,
As my lungs.
yeah,
But
this seems like that would be definitely specialized.
I feel like you would have to have training for that for sure.
Like for crime scene cleanup, you do. It's a special course you have to go through and take because there's a lot of like biohazards.
Yes, I mean, on my on my engineering job, we have to take this training for like against pathogens and biohazards. I
Yeah.
would think
Yeah.
you would have to be highly trained in case you touch any
Yeah. And
bodily
then
fluid.
hoarder, I can't even watch those TV shows. They
Oh, no.
freak me out.
we crave them at home. We're like, okay, let's watch them. And oh my gosh, did you see that mold? Yes.
What if a client or prospective client like requested a quote from you and you guys showed up to like assess the situation and it was like hardcore 27 cats, half of them were dead and rotting, nastiness.
I don't know.
Does the price just go up?
That's
about it?
It does. It has to.
Yes. We never had encounter anybody that was seeking our services for that niche.
Yeah.
I think you would have to like list yourself as like a extreme cleaning business.
That makes sense.
I would think 27 cats and piles of things falling over you would be a little bit different.
So outside of the first initial clients being your friends, like in the past year, like how are you getting clients? What's the biggest driver of clients for you?
Referrals is a big one.
Okay.
Just friends of friends. And slight plug here for the Scout Guide, but I know you guys had Clara Ramirez here in the show. For us, is the biggest investment and the most profitable investment for our business has been being in the Scout Guide, just for exposure, and then people that are consumers of the Scout Guide businesses also refer us to their friends. So I think that has been the single most marketing tool that we've used. That has been
interesting. It's interesting you say that because for those who don't know, the Scout Guide is a physical book.
Yes.
Right, that comes out once a year, and it's beautiful imagery of, local businesses, right, in different cities. It's city based. Beautiful photo, like you guys did a whole like photo shoot, right? Super cool. But to hear that, being in a physical book that's getting you obviously referrals, is really cool to hear and interesting, right? Because I think everybody else would be like, myself included, would be like ads, Facebook ads. I do want to touch on that though. Then, like outside of the Scout Guide, what other tactics have you been focused on?
I must say that we've tried to watch our growth to a point that we can manage it, right? So like we haven't really dabbled into what a Facebook or Google ad looks like first. And I don't know if this is just me, but at times when businesses pop up first in Google ads, that makes me skeptical.
You mean first as an ad?
Yeah, like
the
sponsored
part?
and then shows the business. I want the business that is like, maybe it's not at the top by sponsor, but like might be at the top by like reviews or so we haven't really gone that route right as of now of looking for other avenues, just because this has been at times a lot of volume to what we're comfortable like scaling, right?
Yeah.
We are trying to keep the quality. I think that's for us the main driver here in customer service, right? So if I feel like I can't manage my current customer, I don't want my quality to go down. And it's like, okay, maybe I got too many ads. I'm like out there way too much.
Yeah.
I can't filter my clients. And now where am I?
Or you
where
can't
am I going?
find enough like reliable, reputable employees to help you maintain that level of service.
Yes.
I feel like that's got to be hard out here too. It's like
Midland is such a unique place, right? We have a lot of influx of people from everywhere, which is great. I mean, I've had so many like diverse experiences just from people from the oil and gas that have been all over the world. People that are coming here because they're relatives of people that are in the oil and gas, so they bring their families and they're from other places. So you have a lot of good like workforce here in Midland. But since opportunities are like, there's always somebody that's willing to pay more.
Yeah.
There's that beautiful and crazy thing about Midland, right? Like you can lose employees really quick, right? So you have to offer them a different experience than just the money, right? You have to create a culture within your company to make sure that they don't leave because Sally next door is offering a couple bucks more, right?
Yeah. What is that indicator then that, because you're saying like it's going to be hard. I want to make sure I can manage essentially I can manage the supply, right? Without flooding myself with the demand. So what is that indicator then of like, what kind of growth are you looking towards? Or how do you know, like, all right, this is picking up and we need to hire 2 to 3 to 4 people. Like what is that true indicator for
I
you?
think we're getting to that. I mean, we just had a baby, so things are backing up a little bit. One of the things that is the hardest as like a new business owner is that you treat this as your baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to let go and delegate a lot of things, right? On the corporate side, I have training on like you have to empower your team, you have to delegate. It's like a team environment. And then from a very selfish side, is like the quality is what like sells you to your client, right? And you can't be there all the time. Like that's the other thing, right? But you have to be the face of the business. So relinquishing control, it's been the hardest. But then I think we're getting to the point that we need to scale up. And for that, we're currently trying to look for ways that we can get our business out there, mainly through social media, getting good content. Also, most of the content that we have on there is from pictures that our employees take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hire them to take pictures, so maybe the pictures are not the best quality, right?
Sure.
So it's like understanding what a successful team looks like too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we put not too long ago on our Instagram that we're looking for content creator just because we do such great jobs in before and after transformation of tips that you can do to make your cleaning life easier
Mm-hmm.
that maybe we don't capture then, and that would be a good resource for people, not just only to get our services, but to consume on
Yeah.
on Instagram or Facebook or
On
whatnot.
TikTok. I mean,
Yeah.
cleaning TikTok is probably my favorite. I don't love to clean, but I love buying cleaning products and I love watching the videos. Like there's a woman I was watching on TikTok who turned me on to Scrub Daddy.
Is it Vanessa?
Yes. She's the best.
Yes.
Like her content creation is so good.
if she ever watches this,
I'm
let's
sure she
find
does.
it.
I'm sure she
Hey,
does.
But she has been the reason why I have this passion for Scrub Daddy, and one day, it's my dream. When I get sponsored by Scrub Daddy, I'll let you guys know.
they're the best.
But their products are just so easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a game changer. Having a cleaning business, you understand what maintenance of product looks like. We have to wash like vacuums weekly just because
Mm-hmm.
if you want your clean house, I'm not bringing my dirty vacuum to your house,
Yeah.
right? My dirty rags or my dirty sponges, right? And Scrub Daddy, with their technology that they have for their sponges, the way that they don't pick up any smell, that's life changing.
I will never buy any other sponge than that because
Yes.
they get stink. Like a normal sponge gets so smelly
So
after
bad.
just like a couple days.
So bad. And then first they had just the sponges, and that they have like even a barbecue cleaner that Junior's like, we're gonna get the Scrub Daddy barbecue cleaner, but
It's the best.
everything. I swear by their scrub paste. If you ever
Yes.
need a good way to scrub your oven, scrub paste and a scraper. I got that from Vanessa.
Yes, me too.
Just like let it sit there and then just scrape it off. It turns whatever it used to be like hours.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
to-
I know my
hey,
world
reel it
is,
in.
my world is definitely understanding influencer marketing, but like my question being, as in Vanessa's not on my timeline yet, I guess probably it'll probably be
we will.
it'll probably be in the
attack
next couple hours. But does this person work for Scrub Daddy?
She is
They're
sponsored by them
sponsored now,
now.
yeah.
Okay, so she's a professional influencer in that case.
I mean, she's gotten some sponsorships and she wrote a book, I want
Yes.
to say.
What I'm getting at is, does this person own a cleaning company?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
she used
she
to
d-
be she used to do house cleaning for free. Well, house cleaner, and then she started doing cleanings for free.
For the content.
Right.
Right.
And then now she gets sponsored. But going back or just touching cleanings for free, we've understood that cleaning is so life-changing for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're trying to get more into the community by gifting. I don't know, we haven't come across the hoarder cleaning that you mentioned yesterday, but I mean earlier. But like reaching out and understanding that cleaning is life. A new clean house can bring so much joy to a person that's been
Who's like maybe not the
depression
trauma
or
or yeah.
just a single mom that can, or just a mom in general,
Yeah.
right? That doesn't have the bandwidth to do all these things around the house, right? So we're just partnering with some local organizations to give some free cleanings.
Nice.
But we had a cleaning earlier last year, and she was a homeowner, and she was renting her house, and she said, "Well, I really need you to come clean. I have the tenants that were here. They destroyed my house, and I just feel so sad. I haven't been in this house in years. My husband passed away. This was the first home that we bought, so."
Mm-mm.
Junior, this is on the beginning days of the company. Junior and I were like, okay, we're leaving work, 6 p.m. We're going to this house. I got to this house and I'm like, Junior, what? I got electrocuted in the bathroom. I tapped it. I was like, how am I an electrical engineer coming to get electrocuted in somebody's house? And then we like worked 2 days in this house. It's just me and him. The kitchen was very minute. And I'm like, going at it. There's like grease splatter everywhere. Anyways, 3 days of cleaning after work. Okay, Junior, never again will I ever clean a house like this. And then we messaged the lady before and after pictures, and she wrote us a message that was so heartfelt. We cried and we're like, we'll do it again. Just that feeling of like,
Yeah.
it's not just a clean, it's just like so much behind
Mm-hmm.
the act of cleaning, right?
Yeah.
Just the
And to
new
have somebody who
beginning, a new
appreciates it.
right. But that I think that definitely brings us more passion through the
Mhm.
business. We meet all the customers that we interact with. Like we try to make it really personal. We go to meet and greets. We didn't in the last 3 or 4 weeks just because I was pregnant in the last stretch of the pregnancy, but we make it a point like I'll be there, I meet you. It just creates that environment of trust that
Yeah.
is so very important when you have somebody that you don't know coming to your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
who is
speaking
it?
of that, like, do you find that people like pre-clean their homes before the cleaning
It's a
crew comes in?
thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing for some people.
Because people
There's
don't
a,
like they don't want to be judged or something, or what?
yes,
My
I have.
mom used to make me pre-clean. I mean, I was also like a teenager and a disaster, but
I think we
yeah.
have like both extremes because I have a dear friend, and she is like we're very close. She will pre-clean every time we come clean, and I'm like, this defeats the purpose. And
That's
then you have people that are like, oh, somebody's gonna come clean.
yeah.
Yeah, house off out of. So but
They're
yeah,
like, oh, I'm gonna put ketchup on the
Yeah.
counter.
pre-cleaning is definitely a thing.
I'll take a pre-cleaner over a pre-extra mess maker.
Sure,
Same.
sure. They're trying to get their money's worth.
Yes.
I found it interesting that you were like, when I do a Google search and I see an ad at the top, I'm kind of skeptical of
Is
the
that
business.
a kosher to say?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know why, because I feel like the home services industry, like Google ads, that's what literally scales their business a lot of the times because it is so competitive.
I want to say the companies that show up here in like the sponsors are your major, and I'm not gonna say their name, your major cleaning companies that like they have 1099 workers that like go to
Mary
your
Maid.
home. Okay, yeah. Molly Bates at the top.
Oh yeah.
We found out that they
Huge
just-
marketing budgets, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't. I've talked to friends that use their services for their offices, and they're like, well, they're here 2 hours. And it's like, and do I want to be like, so when I see Mall is Made at the top of the sponsor list, and then I understand the quality of service that they have. And this might be just biased from like my experience with them and
With
my
that certain
company,
industry.
right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, do I want to be packaged in the same the sphere that Mall is Made is?
Yeah.
No. And early in the business, we understood that there's like, it's like a triangle, right? You can be fast, you can have quality, and you can be cheap.
Mhm.
But you can't be the three at once, right?
Pick two.
You can pick two, and you know what you're sacrificing, right? We're not the cheapest in the market. We don't aim to be that, but we aim to have good quality and good customer service. And moreover, we don't charge by the hour, and we understand that we have a checklist, and whatever that is going to take you to complete that checklist, that is the amount of time we're going to have, right? So it's a going back to why don't I want to, like, why am I skeptical of those Google ads? Just because I don't want to be packaged in this like big company that like throws a big budget in marketing, but are they really there in quality,
Right. They're
right?
throwing, I mean, they have the ability to throw everything at the wall because they do have the methods to facilitate that,
And
right?
the
Like,
sheer volume of cleanings that they have, like
right. The volume is there. Yeah.
when I have, so I, Molly's Made, they have like a calendar, and then they go say like we have a cleaning at 8, at 11, at 12, and then they have 2 hour slots, and then they one team of two do 5 or 6 houses a day, right? And they get paid a percentage on that, on what Molly Made charges, right? Since we don't want to rush the quality of the checklist, you will have a team, and the team will stay at your house as long as it takes to complete the checklist, and then we have a B team and a C team, and that's how we arrange our cleaning. So it it's definitely a different scheme. We don't
Yeah.
it's a
For
different
sure. Different experience. Yeah.
for sure.
It's elevated, right? It's full. It's more, it's higher quality service.
I mean,
We-
I think that's smart too to not charge by the hour, because then there's, you know, the shady companies will be like, okay, well, you're going to pay me, let's say, $50 an hour. Oh, well, it's going to take me like 10 hours.
Yeah, I could clean this couch for 2 days if
Yeah.
you want me to.
Oh
stop
yeah.
right
I mean,
there.
let's be real. That's the moving company
Yeah.
sort of strategy, right? It's like, we're slow down a little bit here. It's going to take a little longer.
Yeah.
And then, but honestly, then you're sort of looking at the people who are like watching the clock and worried about that stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
like at that point, they're not looking for quality. They're looking for the cheaper price.
Yeah, they want that.
And then we might not be the company for them. I
Right.
think that's
Exactly.
I think we talked at the beginning of like determining what's the niche, where do you want to service. At the beginning, we were just getting any cleaning that we could, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we had my aunt here, and then she needed a job, so we were just trying to get volume. But we understand that some customers are not the customers for you,
Yeah.
and that's a real thing, and it's scary too, right? Because it's the sense of security that like you have something now, you let it go. What is the next customer?
Yeah.
And I think that's a real fear that we have that I would have never understood otherwise, is that when you have a company and you have a small business, you are responsible for livelihoods of people
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that depend on you, right?
Yeah.
So for us to grow our business, we do it very mindful.
Very intentional.
Very intentional, right? So
Yeah.
say like, am I hiring you for a day, and then I'm paying you X amount, and then you have to go home and you don't know when your next cleaning is gonna come, right?
Yeah.
That puts a strain of, I wouldn't want to work there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the challenges that we've understood, that you can't scale up too quickly and have 20 employees when every employee is getting one cleaning a week. So
Yeah.
none of that I knew before. And a lot of things that we still don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a learning curve, and we've definitely had a lot of needing to understand this like essential business 101s, because we never went to like a business course at the
Yeah.
beginning. We were charging very low at the beginning, and at the end it's like, okay, was that worth it? Or
Yeah.
it was definitely a learning curve.
Yeah.
Have you set any sort of like specific goals for 2024 of like, in terms of not necessarily like revenue goals or anything like that, but just things that you want to hit, or things that you're like, okay, we're
I have
thinking back
I have a
now.
hit list.
Oh, really?
A
Okay.
hit list.
Okay.
I just grabbed the scout guide and I just wrote out all the businesses.
Sure.
Said who does, and again, a great resource, like who here, everybody needs a cleaning, right?
Yeah.
Who from this guide, or who from this businesses that we see out there need cleaning services. And our main goal right now is hitting construction and commercial.
Yeah.
We've understood that if it was my house too, right, the clients are a lot more picky at their homes, right?
Mhm.
So we might have and I can't be there all the time, so sometimes quality is not the same in every house, right? So you have to establish a very rigid like quality control, right?
Mhm.
And there's still things that could be missed, right? Like, and then if I'm paying as a customer for my house to be clean, I want my house to be spotless, right?
Yeah.
And that comes with its challenges, right? But then when you're doing more construction, it's a different kind of cleaning. Is removing debris, is removing stickers. Are there pieces of wood on my floor, right?
Mhm.
So it allows you to do more rapid volume of growth with not so meticulous.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that's where we're trying to aim right now.
That's
Though
smart.
still continuing to do our residential cleaning.
Sure. How important right now, I guess, are things like Google reviews for you guys?
Extremely important.
Okay.
I think just going back to like the sponsored ad,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
though I'd really, again, you might change my mind, but we like genuine reviews. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what will do it for you, right? And even I was looking for some. This is me all the time. I look for cleaning companies on Google all the time. I'm like, oh, well, who's out there, right? And then people will just fabricate
Yeah.
Google reviews.
On both sides.
On
Like
the-
good or bad.
yes.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know if this is like a setting, but on House Code Pro, the software that I told you we use, you have a way to like limit the amount of negative reviews you can put out there. That defeats the purpose, right? Like if you're gonna, why would you have a review if you're only allowing 5-star reviews?
Yeah.
That's just not
It's gaming the
legitimate.
system.
Yeah. But we don't have that, for the record. Whatever reviews you see on Google or on House Code Pro are legit reviews. But we want to make sure that people are getting what other people feel from when they get our house cleaned. So yeah, Google reviews extremely important, and I think we are asking everybody to leave a review.
I was going to
An
ask that.
honest
How are you
review.
getting reviews back? Yeah.
So first of all, I try to touch base personally.
Mhm.
And that's scary because sometimes the answer is like, this is missed, or you could have done better here. And then we do have a satisfaction guarantee policy. So we will go back at no charge. We want the customer to feel like they paid for some quality work. The worst is it's like when you're really, really hungry and you go to a fast food restaurant and you're like at the end, it's like, oh, like I'm full, but is that really what I wanted?
Yeah.
Kind of feeling, like, yeah, I'm satisfied, but it's not the best quality food that I could have. So
Right.
compare that to like a cleaning. We never want that to be the feeling that the client gets, right? So satisfaction guaranteed, policy for sure. And then once we do, we make sure that the client is happy. The software itself will send an automatic like, hey, leave us a review. So,
Nice.
and then the client wants to feel it, they fill it out.
Yeah, I think especially every business can benefit from Google reviews and things like that. But I think the software is key that you're using, because I don't think enough businesses ask for reviews. They just
Yes.
assume that, like, one, they don't want to, they feel like they're encroaching on somebody. But for most people, the people that want to leave a bad review, you don't have to remind them where to go.
No.
Right?
Oh, no, they will tell you.
They'll know they're
They will
going to
call
Google.
you.
They will.
Right. But most people don't recognize that, like, one, especially the good reviews, it helps the algorithms, right? It does help you to get to the top
Yeah.
higher than your competitors. But most people, they need to be reminded, not incentivized, but reminded. And, I don't think enough businesses do that. Yeah. We have some software that helps businesses essentially go like, all right, here are all the new bookings. Here are all the new, people that we were serviced. And it automatically sends them an email like,
Yeah.
how was the service, right? Like, and if it's bad,
It's like a thumbs up or a thumbs
Yeah.
down.
The simplicity too, right? Like
Yeah.
I think people are, sorry, I interrupted you.
no, please.
The simplicity of like generating a good review, right? Like I don't want 16 questions with like 1 to 10. Is it satisfactory?
Yeah, I don't need a survey.
Yeah. But some people do that, right? And then I'm like, or like stay on the line for a short survey on your call.
Yeah.
Is this person like, I want it to be genuine. I want it to be easy to fill out. But then some people, like clients at times, like you said, you have to be reminded of the impact that a good review or a bad review can leave, right? And for the company to also have the opportunity, if it's a bad review, for them to be able to mend that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Before they go to Google.
right.
Right.
And I think that's a great way to let the company showcase their customer service, right?
Mhm.
We've had, I mean, when you're in a cleaning service, you get really picky clients, which is fine. You get clients that are never going to be satisfied.
Mhm.
And there's things that break. And this last one is challenging because like you're on somebody else, like you're touching their belongings, right?
Mhm.
And they could range from like sentimental value, irreplaceable value, right?
Yeah.
Like this is my great grandma's 1940,
Yeah.
right? So
Is it
it's
her
like
ashes?
I have clients saying like, "Hey, be careful. I have like 16 jars of ashes here." So it's like you have to be
It's a lot of ashes.
careful like with items, right? But there's accidents, things happen, things break, right? But then for you to be given the chance to mend that,
Mhm.
it's I think it's essential. And then
Yeah.
but if you go to a review without like letting the company do
Fix
that,
it, yeah.
that could be very detrimental for
Yeah.
like a small business.
For sure.
Thank you so much for coming in. We'll see you on the next one.